Hello and welcome to our video on circle of transformations. Now in the past we've been looking at linear graphs that show a straight line. So this one will be a positive linear association. This one will be a negative linear association. And we've also looked at nonlinear, which are the ones that show some kind of a curved line. And in the past we've just called these nonlinear. So when we have the linear ones, we can fit a regression line, a least squares regression line, and perform a regression analysis on these two. But we can't do it for the curved one yet. So the circle of transformations is going to help us with the curved graph. Here's a few examples of nonlinear associations. And I just want you to look at the data points. So this one's got a line through the middle. Don't worry about that blue line. But you can see this is clearly a curved data point, so you wouldn't be able to go straight into finding a least squares regression line. This one also is curved in the positive direction. This one is curved, and this one here is curved down this way. So these are examples of data points that are nonlinear, that you would need to transform first before you can complete a full regression analysis. The circle of transformations I have here, and this is a very important diagram. This is something I'll be putting in my summary book and making sure I know really, really well. All you need to do with this diagram is to look at the data you've got and decide which one of the four quadrants your data fits into. Once you decide which quadrant your data looks like, and we're looking at following the red circle, you need to select one of these transformations that goes with the quadrant. So if you have data that looks like this, curved, you would select one of these transformations. Let's have a look at what that looks like with the graphs above. So I've copied the circle of transformations here for us, and if we look at this data here, it looks most closely like this part of the circle. Hopefully you can see that, and so we could use one of these three transformations for it. This data here looks most closely like this part of the circle, and we could use one of these three transformations. This data looks like this part of the circle, so we use these four, one of those four, not all four of them. And the final point, copy this down so we can see it. This one here looks like this part of the circle, so we can use one of these three. Here's some steps to help you decide which one to use. First one is to compare your graph to the circle of transformations, which is what we've just done with those first four. Second step is to select one of the transformations in the quadrant. So if you had data in this quadrant, you can choose one of these and you can choose which one you like. Third step is to transform your data using the transformation you choose, and I'll show that in a future video. And then your final step is to perform a regression analysis and a least squares regression line, things like that, how you've been doing with the linear data on your new data once you have transformed it. So once you transform it, you're moving it into a linear form, more closer to a straight line. Things to remember, or warnings, I might put this in red. You can use any of the suggested transformations, but you do need to know how to use them all, because the question may say use a log transformation on this data, or a question may say you've got this data, which one of, it might be a multiple choice question, which one of the following transformations would be best to use, and it would only have one of them, so you need to know both of them, or all of them in each section. Second dot point here, the transformations will only work with data that is continually increasing or continually decreasing. So all of these are going in the one direction, 1D, This one here kind of goes up and then down a little bit, so probably not ideal for a linear regression. And the example I have down the bottom here is would not work. So it goes up for the first half and then it's going down again. So you couldn't do a transformation on this data because it looks like it fits in with two different parts of the circle of transformations. This part for the first half and this part for the second half. So it only works with data. If you just had the first half of this data, you could use it. Or if you just had the second half of this data, you could use it. Thanks for watching the video.